Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darson Chauskas. Today is the 14th of August 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. So, yep, I believe we can find a lot of useful stuff here for yourselves, guys. So, feel free to check us out. Okay, but for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on is the FTSE 100. Now, the FTSE here is, to be honest, it's a bit annoying, and it was trading here within this rising channel, as we saw. Of course, 2 weeks ago we saw this one exiting the channel, but again then quickly getting back before the week ended. Last week, of course, it traded nicely here within this channel, but as you can see on Friday, we had a strong decline. We've tested the lower bound of the rising channel here, but as you can see, yesterday we've managed to break it to the downside, and we've actually closed below it. Now, certainly this, of course, raises some questions about the further upside potential, and so at the moment, as we can see, it's currently resting at well, yesterday it closed around the 50 EMA, so we could potentially see this one declining further, maybe even going down here towards this 100 EMA, approximately around the 75.90 mark. Also, it would also meet the lower bound of the Bollinger Band as well. So basically, for now, to be honest, it's not really looking good for the short run. We could, like I said, we could see further declines, and yep, the first area to watch would be this area around the 100 EMA here, shown as the green line. But if that doesn't stop it there, the further decline could lead to a possible test of the 75.45 mark. Now, as you can see, in the past, it acted as a very nice area of support here, so keep an eye on that one. The 75.45, maybe it's just slightly a few points above it, but nevertheless around that area. And again, to be honest, if that doesn't hold, well, we do have even a better area of support here, which is the 75 10 level. So 75.10 could prove to be a very nice area of support here. It also coincides with the 200 EMA here on the daily chart. So for now, of course, all eyes are on this area first, and then of course further declines could lead to these levels, but for now, again, like I said, be very careful. We're also still not far from the lower bound of this rising channel. If, let's say, we get a surprise move here and where the index could get back into this channel, now then the downside could be off the table again, and we could aim for higher levels. Initially, of course, aiming for the 77.50 area approximately there, or even actually aiming higher a little bit towards the 77.95. Now, for now, of course, like I said, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on this lower bound of the rising channel and the and around this area here at around 75.90, which is approximately around this 100 EMA, shown as the green line. Let's jump into a few commodities, and the first one I want to touch on is WTI. Now, WTI has well, it moved lower. It did actually test our key area here of support, the 71.25, but to be honest, it broke it just slightly. But then, as you can see, the bears the bears kind of lost the battle to the bulls and yesterday, and we saw this one moving back up here. Certainly, as you can see, the candle, the daily candle closed in the red, but to be honest, the bulls managed to drive this drive this commodities not only above this, back above this 71.25 mark, but also above this 72.50 zone. Now, of course, this is adding, to be honest, a lot of concerns about the possibility of this one declining lower. For now, of course, we're going to stay very cautious, but if this is going to start reversing here to the upside, and we're going to start moving towards these EMAs here, the 100, the 21, and the 50, then of course we should be very cautious here, because we could get closer towards this upwards moving trend line here that has been running since around the 21st of June. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, it was broken here in the past a few times, and but still, nevertheless, as you can see, it kind of acts as a very good area of support and resistance at the same time. So if this pushes away again from this level, from the 72.50 now, and yep, if we'll start moving towards these EMAs and we'll start breaking them, then yep, we could start considering a possible touch of this upside trend line, and a possible touch of from underneath. So for now, of course, keep this idea in your head, but to be honest, for us to turn bullish, let's say, on this one in slightly maybe more longer term, then we would need to see a nice good break, not only above this upside trend line, but also a strong move above this area right here. As you can see, I've got it highlighted, and this is where we could position ourselves for a possible move higher if we get a nice break and a close above this area, and specifically if we get a nice break and a close above this 76.45 mark. So keep an eye on that one, but on the downside, we still are looking for a close below this 71.25 in order to kind of start looking at lower levels. Initially, of course, aiming for this 200 EMA here, as shown as the black line, and if that doesn't hold, well, we could see further declines. But for now, again, like I said, this commodity is kind of stuck here, stuck in this zone, so we're just going to continue observing it and see what it wants to do. Let's jump into gold, and this precious metal yesterday showed some weakness, and we saw that we finally got our break here from this tight zone that it was trading in between the 1205 and the 1215, approximately there. And certainly now it tested the 1195 area as well that I was talking about. So if this continues further, if this decline continues further, and we see a move away from this 1195, keep your eyes on the on this little level right here. Let me quickly mark that for you guys, and that's around the 1180 mark. So 1180 could be a good possible next area of support. Certainly, like I said, for that we would need to see a good push away from this 1195 level, and then we could start aiming for this 1180. To be honest, be very careful with this one. If, let's say, suddenly we get a reversal back to the upside here, to be honest, for us to become, let's say, or to take the bull side on this one, we would need to see a good break and a close above this 1215, and only then we could probably aim for the 1237, or maybe slightly below the 1235 area. So for now, keep your eyes open. Let's see what it wants to do with this 1195 level. Does it want to push away to the downside again? If it does, then yep, we could start aiming for the 1180, or it maybe wants to make a move higher, but the first potential area of resistance could be this 1205 level. Let's jump into a few pairs now, and the first one, probably the most relevant for today, will be the GBPUSD. Now, for as you can see, last week we've exited the pair through this well, we exited this downwards moving channel that it was trading in, and we exited through the lower side of it. And of course this is adding all like a lot of weakness towards the near-term outlook. But let's jump into a 4-hour chart quickly, and let's have a look at it from a closer view. And we can see that the pair is kind of stuck here between these two levels. So I mean, currently now we can maybe class this as a, well, not maybe, but we can class this as a little tight range here between the 127.30 and then 127.90. Certainly it's waiting for the news today. I mean, we do have UK employment figures coming out, so be careful with this one. I mean, if we get a nice break here below this 127.30, now this could open the path towards lower levels, where we could potentially aim for the 126 zone. But if, let's say, if it exits the this little tight range through the upper bound of it, through the 127.90 level, still be very careful, because we do have a good potential area of resistance here, which is the lower bound of this falling range, falling channel. Which also could act as a good area of resistance from which the pair could rebound and get rejected here and then move lower. So for now, of course, keep an eye on it. If suddenly this gets back inside this channel and moves above it, this is where we could potentially maybe start looking for a bit of more correction to the upside, and we could start aiming initially aiming for these levels here. The first one could be the 129.15 mark, approximately there, and the next one to watch higher a little bit could be the 129.75, approximately there. So but that's of course what's in regards to if we see a move back inside this falling channel. Let's jump into another pair which I believe is quite interesting, and that's EURAUD. Now, as you can see here, a while ago we were trading here within this range between the 157 level and the 158.75, but we exited this range to the downside. We've managed to reach some lower levels here. Just let me quickly mark one of these. So we've managed to reach the areas here around the 155.75. We rebounded nicely from it, and now we're testing this lower bound of this range again. So for now, of course, be very cautious, because if we suddenly break here above it and move above it, and we see a close above this level, then, well, I mean, the downside could be off the table for now, and we could start aiming for these higher levels here. Oops, let me just highlight a few of those. The first initial one to watch could be this 157.55 zone, approximately there, and the other one to watch could be this little area here at around the 158.200. Now, this was marked here by the high of approximately the high here, which we saw around the 31st of July. So this could be a nice potential area of resistance, but only if we see a nice good break here and a close above this lower bound of this range that the pair was trading in for a while ago. So as you can see here, this is a quite important level. But if this area continues to hold and we see a rejection here and a move lower, then, well, we could maybe potentially aim for another test of the 157.75 zone. Which could play out nicely, like I said, but only if we get a rejection here from this area, from this zone at around 157. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on, and that was CAD Yen. Now, the CAD Yen had a nice reversal here from this area around the 83.75. We can see that we can move higher here, and yesterday we also got a nice rejection here at around 84.25, and now it seems that it wants to continue pushing higher. Certainly at this point it's meeting its good area of resistance here at around this 84.60, but to be honest, if this continues pushing further, then keep your eyes on this little level right here at around 85.05. Now, this has been marked here by the high of the of the 10th of yeah, let me just double check this quickly. Yep, at the 10th of August. So last Friday we saw this high here. So yep, guys, keep an eye on it. This could be a potential area for a test if this continues to push higher here. And yep, it starts moving above these EMAs shown here, the 50 and the 200, and then, like I said, we could end up hitting the 85 0.5 mark. So for now, that's the scenario. If suddenly this reverses back down, well, for us to start considering lower levels, we would need to see a nice move, a nice good break and a close below this this 84.25 level. Now this could be a nice indication that that the pair is not really actually ready to make some make a good reversal back to the upside, let's put it that way. So yep, guys, for now, keep your eyes on these pairs, keep your eyes on those levels that I just talked about, and yeah, let's see what they want to do. And I hope you have a good trading day today. And if you want to join me later on at my traders tea time, that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye-bye.